Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about what life has been like living in Antigua as an expat. Now this is from my own personal experiences, so if you want to hear more, just stay tuned. But first, do not forget to like and subscribe. So in the previous video that I did in terms of moving to Antigua, I got a few comments and it was asking why did I leave Jamaica to come to Antigua. I got a job opportunity, and I mean, I'm still relatively young. I don't have kids, I'm not married, so I said, you know what, let me come here and explore and see what the island has to offer. I think that it's the best time to kind of capitalize on those opportunities. It was a hard decision. I miss my parents so much. Oh my gosh, I should have placed this video when I was in my previous video, so I'm gonna insert it here. When I was leaving the airport, I miss my friends. I have a very amazing circle back home. I miss my co-workers from my previous job. They were like family to me, and so I decided, yeah, I'm gonna take the plunge and I'm gonna move to Antigua. All right, so the moment I got here, the first thing that stood out was the geography. I think this is one of the reasons why I didn't get homesick initially, is because Antigua reminded me of Jamaica. Prior to coming here, the only other islands I would have visited within the region would have been the Bahamas and Cayman, and those islands are flat. I mean, I've been to Cuba as well, but Spanish Caribbean and English Caribbean, it has a completely different look and feel, even if you just talk about the architecture alone. But Bahamas and Cayman, flat. So coming here, Antigua, even though it's not mountainous, it's very hilly, and so even some of the buildings, I would say, you know, I really felt at home. I've been to St. Lucia recently, and I would say that St. Lucia reminds me more of Jamaica, but you know, the geography is the first thing that I noticed the moment I got here. All right, so the next thing that stood out to me was diversity. Now, I knew that Antigua had a lot of foreigners here, but not to the extent that I thought. The largest community here is probably Spanish. A lot of them are from Dominican Republic, and then we have persons from English Dominica. So you have Dominicans and you have Dominicans. You have Jamaicans. I mean, are we surprised? We're everywhere. So if I go to Madagascar tomorrow, there will be a Jamaican. If I go to Wakanda tomorrow, there will be a Jamaican, probably opening up a restaurant and calling it Cool Runnings. Yeah, there are lots of Syrians. Syrians are pretty much here in generations now. So Syrians are to Antigua what the Chinese is to Jamaica. There are a lot of Vincentians. You have quite a number of St. Lucians. You have quite a number of Guyanese. Yeah, Guyanese also has a huge community here. You have a lot of, you have a few Trinis. You have what other country have I met here a lot? Well, we have Mexicans. A lot of Mexicans are here for work as well. There is persons from Europe. Most of them though are on the southern part of the island in English Harbor or Falmouth, that area. But yeah, quite diverse. I must say there's also availability of lots of Jamaican products here. The only thing I am struggling to find, haven't found it as yet, is instant coffee, the Blue Mountain coffee. So if you know anywhere I can find it in Antigua, please let me know. I have to big up this young lady I met yesterday. Her name is Nikki. She has a stall in downtown. She does jerk chicken, and I always pass the stall because I have to pass it to get home after work, and it's always crowded, and I decided to patronize her yesterday. Very nice lady. She was like, you never see me, but it got viral. She was featured on David's Been Hair's channel. So Nikki, big up yourself. I brought back chicken for my team. One of my team members was telling me that the pork is even better than the chicken I was telling her. They didn't have pork ready at the moment, but I'm definitely gonna go back. And if you visit Antigua, make sure to check out Nikki's stall in downtown, right near the bus station. Trust me, thank me later. So KFC needs its own segment, right? So you know the national dish of Jamaica is ackee and sawfish, but you know there is this emotional connection that Jamaicans have with KFC. So prior to coming here, you know, I was told that Antigua's KFC is amazing. As a matter of fact, I had an intern who is Antigua, and he actually brought KFC to Jamaica. We did a taste test and I enjoyed it, but you know, it's different when you travel with it more than when you have it hot. So I must say their KFC can be considered KFC, which that means it's popping, right? So if you visit Antigua, check out the KFC. I would recommend the Fourth Road location the best. Yeah, so Jamaica is still number one, but Antigua is a close number two to KFC. All right, so the next thing I'm going to touch on is cost of living. I personally think that Antigua is quite an expensive country to live in. Even from just real estate, rent, for persons who probably purchase, it costs a pretty penny. Food is also significantly higher than Jamaica. I mean, they have a higher import bill, so that contributes to the cost as well. But I must say that, like, when I first came here, the first supermarket that I was introduced to was a supermarket called Epicurean. It's the largest supermarket on the island. But Epicurean is like, it took me back to when I was in high school and when I used to do food and nutrition. So let's just say you shop at, Super Plus. That was a supermarket I was in when I was in high school. And then you have a Foods Practical, but you're making, like, these very high-end meals. So you can't go Super Plus, you have to go Sovereign, right? Or Lashushan. So Epicurean is that supermarket that has the most variety. But over time, I've learned that there are cheaper options. I did find a video online, and it was I think she's a student because, there are also a lot of Americans here because there's an American medical school here. So she visited Epicurean and she was talking about her food bill. But in the comment section, a lot of persons were like, but what did you expect? You went to the most expensive supermarket on the island. And so, of course, you're going to expect your food bill to be high. So there are options where you can get cheaper deals. I remember the moment I land, the guy who picked me up from the airport, he showed me this place. It's called CMC, and like the government subsidize it, and you can get things like salmon and shrimp there, and for an affordable cost. So who goes there and get the salmon and shrimp, right? Especially, like, I've lost a lot of weight last year and I'm trying to maintain that weight. So yeah, me and CMC is besties. But yeah, and they have some little shops that you can get different things at. But of course, again, it's quite an expensive country to live in. That's my opinion. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna touch on is safety. So in terms of crime rate, Antigua has a very low crime rate. It's a very safe island to live in. I don't live in fear. I don't look over my shoulders. Of course, I'm going to be vigilant. That's how I am, and I just believe that anywhere in the world that you go, anything can happen. So you must, just be aware of your surroundings. But very safe country to live in, very quiet country as well. The only time I think I really hear any form of like noise is like when it's carnival time. There is a place not too far from me that they will keep one or two other fets, so I will hear it from home. But other than that, it's just extremely quiet. And this is pretty much how the island feels for me on a whole since I've been here. So in terms of things to do on the island, in my 2 Antiguan videos, I spoke about Antigua being the land of 365 beaches. So if you love the beach, Antigua is the place for you. They have beautiful beaches, and visiting this island, everyone pretty much has access to the beach. It's not a place where you will have to pay a cover charge. For some beaches, you may have to walk with a beach blanket or your beach chair. For others, you can just perhaps maybe pay 20 or 30 EC and just lounge on their chairs. They have very nice restaurants and very diverse cuisines. So if you want something more beachy, something more elevated, like a fine dining experience, you can find that here. There's also a pig beach, so if you want to check that out, I want to check it out, but my co-workers think I'm crazy for doing that. But I'm gonna do it in December when my parents and my best friend should be visiting, so I'm excited for that. Of course, it will be kind of similar to the experience in Bahamas with the Exuma, the pig, feeding the pigs experience there. There is also a Stingray City here. They have a place where you can like experience like leatherback turtles and like touch them and stuff like that. So those are some nice things to do. You have an island safari tour. If you're into hiking, there are many places to hike and to just walk around freely. If you're into fitness, so you will definitely enjoy those stuff being here. If you are, Antigua is very big on like yachts and boat life. They actually have a sailing week every year that's in around April. When I moved to the island, it was around sailing week time. If you're into carnival and soca, carnival here is a huge thing. They have carnival is actually a public holiday, so you have Monday and Tuesday. I was so grateful for that to rest, right? But they have it's a public holiday, and then they have something called t-shirt mass. I think that's the week before carnival. They have several fêtes. They have the actual opening day for carnival is like a whole parade and the road block off and bare excitement. So soca is something that's very big here. The island is relatively quiet, as I mentioned before, so far more laid back, with more laid back activities for persons to enjoy. So yeah, I think maybe I'm missing a few, but yeah, if you just are into scenery and stuff like that, you know, those are some nice things to do while you're here. So this next point doesn't directly impact me, but I still wanted to touch on education a bit. So if you're planning to move to Antigua and you have a child, there are several school options to choose from, whether it's private or public. If you're familiar with Jamaican school system, they do CXC here in Antigua. They do common entrance in order to matriculate to high school. So similar to PEP in terms of the whole critical thinking. And UE, their fourth main campus is in Antigua. Yes, we are used to Mona, Cavell, and St. Augustine, but UE has added a fourth main campus, and it is the Five Islands main campus here in Antigua. There's also a medical school, so we have a lot of foreigners that come here to study medicine and they go back home, or I'm not sure what the statistics of persons who stay here and practice, but yes, so that's where education is concerned. Of course, there are many programs that you can enroll your child in. There are several persons that they may have their child going to martial arts, or there is the Chinese embassy that's not too far from where I live, and a lot of children go there to study and to learn Mandarin. So you know, you can have those activities that you can get your child in to help them to become all-rounded. So guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you learned a lot more about Antigua, and if there's anything that you want me to talk about, you can just drop it in the comment section. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.